Because in a translation, we may infer a connotative transfer that was not intended, and it gets us into trouble. And this is one of those cases. Here's skotos exoteros. The Greek term skotos means literally a shadow or darkness. Okay, no problem there. The term exoteron means the outside place, but it happens to be a comparative adjective of exo, which means outside. It's a comparative adjective, and my friend Dr. Welty who's the founder of the International Standard Version Foundation, point out that the Greek structure here is a very strange one. There's a very simple way he could have said it, and he didn't. The fact that they use this construction is almost a hint to look more carefully at what they're trying to get across. See, this could be more accurately rendered the darkness farther away, implying a place that entails lesser illumination than places closer in. Okay? And the Septuagint uses this term exoteron over 20 times in the final chapters of Ezekiel, talking about the millennial temple, by the way. That should catch our attention too. So if we look at the millennial temple, when you may remember from our Ezekiel studies, there are the outer gates, for an example. And the exoteros, the skotos exoteros, is the darkness further away, if you will. And it shows up, that term is 23 times in Septuagint. Well, here's the real point I need to get across, and it's one that is a shocker. For even the more you've studied the Bible, the harder this is to sell until you've dug into it a little bit. Because all of us are so guilty of equating the outer darkness with hell that we jump to conclusions. If you look at Thayer's Greek-English lexicon of the New Testament, they make this point that the darkness outside is not Hades, is not a reference to hell. Kenneth West, one of the primary authorities in his expanded translation of the Greek New Testament, makes the same point. Spiros Zodhiates, the complete word study of the New Testament, regarded by many as their best Greek source. All these Greek sources make the point that this does not imply hell as we jump to that conclusion. It's something else. And I was delighted to discover the International Standard Version Bible renders this the darkness outside. See, it carries a little different flavor, doesn't it? And even Dr. Welty made the point that it probably even should have said the darkness further away kind of thing. But how about expositors? Warren Wiersbe, these are the most respected expositors I know. Warren Wiersbe underscores this. Charles Stanley, in his book on eternal security, emphasizes this. Erwin Lutzer, the head of Moody, in his book, Your Eternal Word, emphasizes this. Tony Evans, in his Prophecy Study Bible. Joseph Dillow, his writings are one of the first called this to my attention several years ago, and I liked much of what he said. I couldn't quite swallow this aspect till studying it further. And it was my wife's diligent research that turned up all these other references to make it clear that we need to take another look at this. G.H. Lang, his exegesis of this is quoted by many. He's one of the early ones that really recognized the realities here. A. Edwin Wilson and a number of others. There are dozens of others. The darkness outside is the way it should be rendered and is so rendered in the ISV. It's the darkness further away. Not just any darkness, but a darkness that is outside some specific region of light. And the context of the passage implies that the light we're talking about is the Shekinah, which is normally only seen in the Holy of Holies. You can be in the temple, but not be where the Shekinah. You can't be in the Holy of Holies. The Holy of Holies, you could be a Levite presiding in the temple. Only the high priest, and only once a year, dared enter the Holy of Holies and expose himself to the Shekinah. So that's sort of the flavor of what we're dealing with here. See, it's in that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth, in the sense that the people are being denied to do that. Now, that weeping and gnashing of teeth, by the way, is simply a term, a denial of privilege. It's a term of extreme disappointment. There's no mention of torment here or anything like that. The gnashing of teeth, it's an inability to cope with that a disappointment.